Starfall.
Hey guys, welcome back to Starfall Sabers. My name is Nick, and I wanted to show off this recently completed hilt. Now, typically I don't showcase empty hilts on my YouTube channel, but this one was very special, very unique, so I wanted to show this off. Now, this will also act as the instructions to take apart the saber in order to have electronics installed. But just a little background on this. This is what's known as a CanonFlex, as opposed to a Graflex. So it's a CanonFlex because it uses a vintage Canon camera flash unit. And with the Canon clamp, and this is, I believe, a Y model flash. It also has a vintage Graflex top from the vintage Graflex camera flash. It also has, these are original vintage pins that I used. I had to cut these down a little bit. So my customer had basically purchased, I believe off eBay, some of this vintage camera flash equipment. So he got the Graflex top and then this Canon flash unit. And so if you know anything about the original prop makers, they actually used a vintage Graflex camera flash to make Luke Skywalker's lightsaber. So again, they used found parts to bring the lightsaber to life, and it really gives it that real world kind of grounded look, even though it's in a galaxy far, far away. So I'll just kind of take you through this saber. So again, my customer sent me these parts here, and then the rest I basically machined, put other found parts on, and then just heavily weathered it. And so I'll kind of take you through that. Now this saber, you absolutely can duel with it. It's very strong and sturdy. Most likely with this type of value that goes into this, with the vintage parts, this would be what's known as a shelf queen. At least that's what I would do with it. It would sit on a nice display stand to show off to my friends, and I would probably pick it up every day. Okay, so kind of take you through here the emitter, blade retention screw here. Again, you have those original pins. I just had to shave them down a little bit to fit this application. This is a real solid brass choke piece that threads into the stainless steel tubing that I machined. So this is where it would come apart for the to access the inside so that you can do an install. So you have a 832 retention screw here, and it's also countersunk, so you know, so everything will line up. So you can set this LED module in here with maybe a couple set screws to center it, and so that'll be where your LED module will go, and then you can get access inside the hilt here for whatever buttons that you want to drill for your switches. Personally, I'd recommend a tactile switch on this, something that doesn't call much attention to itself. I'm a fan of the smaller switches on sabers. So once that's lined up, go ahead and tighten this back. Don't over tighten it, but it's nice and secure now. It's not going anywhere. So coming down the saber, again, this is the Canon flash. Yeah, it says right there, unit Y. And with this activation box, and this is a card from a company called Sloth Furnace. They made this. I had to cut it down to fit the smaller box. I also, it's loose in here only because I wanted to give the installer options to maybe backlight this. It'll shine through these windows. And so to get out the card, you just push the clamp release, and that'll slide out. See where it says Sloth Furnace there. And then you can drill into the hilt here to put either accent LEDs, or if you want to put your activation button in here, you have options. So we'll slide this back in. All right, just moving down the hilt, I inlaid this right under here where it says micro sync. Now my customer wanted me to leave all the vintage logos on it. So he didn't want me to machine those or hide them in any way. So I inlaid this cool brass detail in here, which looks really cool, especially with all the heavy weathering. This is aluminum that sleeves all the way into here, so it's all solid one piece. It's all secured very, very well. These are just greeblies. Gives it that nice Star Wars feel. You got a D-ring here. Now this is a pummel that's been machined by Solo's Hold. This is the Force Unleashed 2 pummel. And again, my client gave me this. He wanted it incorporated into the Saber. So it looks really nice with that. So I did heavily modify this though with some other greeblies and weathering. So to get access to the pummel, so when this is installed, this is where the chassis would slide in. You'd have, it's vented for sound there. You would back out this button head screw. And this is securely just slides on there, like so. And then you have access inside the Saber. The slides just right back on, line it up. So this is the CanonFlex. This was a commission, and I'm really proud of this Saber. I really wish I could keep it. It's absolutely beautiful. I'm glad it's going to a good home where it will be cherished. So as always, feel free to like, subscribe, check me out on Instagram at @Starfall_Sabers, and we'll see you next time.